Ms Lata, I'm so happy you got to join me today. I am very interested in knowing more about your life. I have a few questions for you, but let's start with what your background and how long you have worked and where you have worked in.
Okay. Firstly, thank you for this opportunity. And well, yes, I am not from Hyderabad.
Okay.
So I have a little problem on the language front because I grew up in the northeast. That is right from Nepal to Mizoram.
Okay.
And in the boarding, right from the age of 4 till I got married. So it's the northeast with the Irish nuns, Loreto Convent, which is not in the south, so most people don't know about it. Then I did my college in Delhi University, Miranda House. So that's as far as my studies go. Then I was the first one in my batch to get married to an army officer. And I had 2 quick kids. I went back to college to graduate.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Because I had not graduated and I promised my mother that I would graduate. But I went back, I graduated, and I did my MA.
That's a wonderful.
In English literature. So that's that. I had 2 quick babies. And I moved around in India and I did a lot of things.
Okay.
I would say it is a passion. So I had learned tailoring, so I used to tailor baby frocks and their birthday cakes. So it used to match.
Okay.
Like if it's a white dress with pink lace, then the cake also, the icing would be like that, that kind of stuff. So I made pin money and things. So I grew from there. Then finally I based in Bangalore because my husband was in the army. He'd go to the field. Field means Pakistan border, China border, where families can't go.
Okay.
So that's why I used to live alone. But my in-laws lived with me and the children grew up. So I started working. And that again was very funny how it happened because I used to do demonstrations of cake baking with icing at ladies' kitty clubs.
Oh.
So they used to keep talking about a ladies' organization on MG Road in Bangalore and things like that. And I would keep listening because I'm doing my demo. So I thought, that's a place I must find. Took my bike, went up and down MG Road looking for this ladies' organization, not knowing the name, not knowing what the product line was. Finally, I found it next to Thomas Cook and I walked in, asking to meet the manager. And for her, I was like cherry on the cake because she said, oh, because you go recruiting. And here was one recruit just falling into her lap.
Correct,
you know. So she was very thrilled to have me. So I said, I'll come back. She said, no, I'm having orientation in the afternoon, so you join. So I said, I will, but I'll eat lunch and come. She said, no. She bought dosa for us, we ate, and I took the orientation, and that's how I joined Time Life Books.
Just
and also the photography that we had and the paper quality, amazing. So we were on commission. So the more books we sold, the more we grew. And I didn't know Bangalore because I was from, the last I was in Delhi was in college and then I got married and stuff. So anyway, so I used to take those yellow pages that, I don't know if you know.
The telephone directory.
And I used to look for companies and, try and find my way on my bike and sell to them. And that's how I built my whole clientele in Time Life. And I grew to no extent. But the thing was, I enjoyed it. I met so many different people and, we have different series. So you're selling to the need of the customer. Saw 2 markets. Bangalore, I moved to Chennai. And then I took a break and got into the hotel industry.
Okay. And what was that journey like, getting into the hotel industry?
See, I had a health issue, so I was told to take a part-time job.
Okay.
Which I took, but I made that into a full-time job. I never liked restrictions as a person. So I broke all rules and made it a full-time job and I grew. Actually, what my strength is that I'm a salesperson interested in people, but I'm also organized. People just sell, 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 and then they don't document.
Correct, yeah.
So then, you can, what shall I say, lose face with the customer.
Yeah.
So that was important for me. And I would say that is because being an army officer's wife, I learned a lot from the army.
Okay.
On
Would
the
you
management
share
front.
some things that you have learned, being married to an army officer? You
Yeah.
said organization. What other skills would you say you have picked up?
The biggest thing I learned was, I don't know if it is valid in today's world, but I do not get into discussions on religion
Okay.
in a forum or politics.
Okay.
I keep my opinion to myself because in the army that was what we were taught. Because you've got to understand that soldiers fight in war, they die together in war or come out of it also together. But there is no difference. We are all human beings fighting for one cause,
Correct, yeah.
to keep the country safe.
That's great actually. The irony is, since army is so closely tied to politics, but you say that you shy away from talking about religion and politics. That's very interesting.
Because again, as I say, I took my training. Whenever somebody taught me something or learned, I absorbed it and I practiced it. I put it into practice because I saw sense in what they said.
Okay.
From that perspective. Because I passed out of school in 71 during the Bangladesh war. And I was in Shillong, that is Meghalaya. And so you knew what was happening,
Yeah.
war heroes coming back. I mean, so many died, so many of my friends' fathers, or brothers and things. So it did affect us,
Of course.
And then, of course, when I got married to an army officer, it kind of made sense. And today my son is a brigadier in the Indian Army.
Okay.
And he's back in Shillong.
That's interesting.
So I hope to go back that side. My younger son is, of course, in corporate world. He's with Salesforce.
Okay.
He's in Bangalore. And so that's how my journey started. I started with a new company called Quality Inn, which is a franchise company from US, Choice Hotels. They just had 2-3 hotels, but it grew. I grew. And then finally I worked for K. Rahejas. That was an eye-opener. Because that was not a corporate.
Okay.
That was a family business.
Okay. What do you think the difference is from?
Big difference. Big difference. And I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
See, I'll tell you why. Because in corporate, you're trained, you're empowered.
Correct, yeah.
And you're left to do your job. Okay? If there is a goof up, there's accountability.
Right, yeah.
Okay? But in a family business, they're all the time into that profit and money and things like that. They don't empower you. My target was 60 crores. And I didn't react to it during my interview, so they found it very surprising. I was the only lady sales manager for Aegis then. I met my targets, and before they could confirm me, I left. But the other side, I'd say, I'll appreciate this too, that came Diwali that year, I got a bonus from them. Because I met my targets. But that's not true of corporate. But you have your KRAs, and then your performance bonus and things related.
Okay, I want to move on to some of the official questions I have for you. I loved getting to know you. I want to ask some things related to that. So you spoke a lot about integrity, discipline, organizing.
Yeah.
How do you incorporate that in your day-to-day life also? How do you feel that has,
You'll be surprised. My home runs on a timetable.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not. That is, whether it's cleaning, whether it is cooking, meaning the cook has what she has to make for the week. So that's on a timetable, so then she knows.
Structure is very important to you. Is that what you have been used to, discipline from when you were a child?
Yes, because one of my subjects in school for Cambridge was cooking,
Okay.
and the Irish nuns were very particular.
Okay.
So in theory class, you'll have all your questions, and you have to write your menu and the process.
Right.
But in practical class, she's sitting up there watching the whole lot of us. We have our tables, our gas, our sink, everything. But you have a trolley. So she's watching how many times you're going to get your vessels from the counter, or you're going to the grocery store.
Okay.
We had a kitchen, and we used to call it the domestic science lab, and we used to cook there. So we had a counter which had all the utensils. We had a counter with the grocery.
Okay. So you make one trip, you bring everything that is necessary?
That's what they trained us.
Okay, okay.
Because they're trying to cut down your walking, because you have a time limit
Right, yeah.
to cook whatever question you've picked from the hat. Whether it's a children's party or it is a old couple having a tea, what you'd serve them, something like that. So for me, that's very important, because you don't waste time. And because I was trained like that, it comes very naturally to me.
Right.
And if I cook, I'll clean up and leave the kitchen perfectly clean. Dishes washed, everything. Well, that's how we were trained.
But I wanted to ask you, since you also seem to be creative, you have your tattoos and
That's the wild side of me.
No, but you're whimsical, right? How do you add your whimsy to your discipline? How does that fit in, your creativity and everything?
It fits in because there's a wild side to me. I play the guitar and I sing. And that was right from school through college. And even now, once in a while.
So you've always been musical?
Yeah, when I meet musicians, it kind of takes me, I take off. So I blend that side of me. And from the creativity point of view, I tailor.
Right, yeah.
I tailor my own clothes. And
is this one of what you're wearing? That's awesome.
And I mean, I don't know if I should say this, but I changed my entire wardrobe because for the last 2 years I had taken ill. I had 2 surgeries on my stomach. So I can't wear my trousers or my jeans because I can't wear anything tight here, or my saris, which I used to wear for work all the time. So I thought, let me start with dungarees because it's, from the shoulders and it's loose. And today everything is loose. Suits me fine. So that's how it came about. So I taught tailoring to the soldiers' wives in 1983 when my husband was commanding the battalion. I taught them tailoring, saying it empowers you to earn money.
Of course.
Because we're from the Gorkha Rifles, they go back to the Pahad of Nepal.
Right.
So they buy the machines from the canteen, what we call CSD, and then they take it home. So if they've taught for 6 months, so they can make money. Basically to empower women, that is a skill, and I believe in that, whether it's cooking or tailoring. But these are the things that such women can do,
So what does empowerment mean to you? I mean, I'm hearing so many inspirational things about you teaching women, the entrepreneurial, spirit that you have. What does empowerment mean to you, and how do you think going forward to the next generation, how are we going to, use that? How are we going to incorporate that so that we can empower other people?
See, for me, empowerment is where a woman is taught a skill. If she doesn't know, she can be taught a skill. Like, let's take either cooking or even tailoring. And if they keep at it, they can earn money. Today, tailoring is so expensive.
Right.
Of course, you youngsters all wear ready-made. But if you're bespoke and you want to wear something exclusive, tailored, it's expensive.
It is, yes.
It's so much that is empowering you. You earn your own money. You have that confidence and self-esteem.
Correct.
You're not dependent on what the man brings in, or whether there is a man in your life or there isn't.
So, what advice do you have for someone my age?
See, I don't give advice.
Okay.
But I only believe that whatever is in you, you got to believe in yourself. And I don't believe in role models either.
Okay.
You should be your own role model. So today I've done this. Tomorrow I should be better than what I've done today. Be your own role model, but better yourself each day. So you're not in competition. I was one salesperson who was never in competition with my colleagues or competitors. Suppose, let's take an example of this office. If both of us are sitting in the reception waiting to meet the big boss, to sell our product, I would chat with her. There's enough space in this universe. It's a big market. It's your confidence, your relationship building that you get business. Okay. You've got to build that trust in one sales call.
Okay.
That's my belief. I've practiced it, I've done it, and I know it's possible.
So when you've met so many people in your life, sales or otherwise, what do you take away from every experience?
No, when I'm with somebody, I'm there totally. I listen to what they say, and I definitely want to learn. I'm 72, I'm still learning. Every day I like to learn something new. And it doesn't have to be somebody older, somebody more, qualified than me. No. I mean, I can learn from a child.
Right.
I observe a lot. So from there I pick up. That enriches my life. That's how I see it. You know how creativity, you can see that what is happening around and things. So that's it.
You've obviously would have had ups and downs, have you?
Yeah.
So in moments of uncertainty, what is the thing that motivates you the most or keeps you going, keeps you on track?
Yeah, I haven't had a very easy life.
Okay.
I am a divorcee. I was married for 19 years. I have worked very hard on my career to take it up, not to be at the top of my game, but because I had to put my boys on their feet.
Right.
So my focus has always been my boys, because I have two lovely boys, and I am blessed because I've seen both the careers.
Yeah.
I've been an army wife, so I know what the army is. It would have changed definitely with time, but I know what his wife would be going through, what are the problems he can face when he's on the border. His life is at stake, it's always on the line. And this boy being in corporate world is a different kind of a, risk or
Pressure.
Yeah. So I know that, so I understand what they're going through. And we're friends. We've been friends we grew up together, because I got married young. So that way. But having said that, I am very strong from within.
How do you gather that strength? How do you call that strength when you have moments of weakness or sometimes you feel overwhelmed and...
No, weakness I had. I would be smoking like a chimney and drinking. All that was there. But then at the end of the day, when you have a goal and an aim to put your children, where you want them to be, where they want to be, I have to be the person to put them on the right path, to give them the launching pad.
So your children are your strength.
They are my strength because that was my focus.
Right.
And even today, my focus is that though they are young men settled with wives and children and whatever, but I don't think of myself in that respect. My focus was my children, is my children, and that's probably why we're such a close-knit family. We're very close. So that is the equation that keeps me going. They are protective now
Of course.
of me because I live alone here and stuff. But it's focus and nothing to take away from a mother focusing on her children.
Yes. You said there is pressure, army, obviously that pressure I understand. But corporate pressure is also different now, times are changing, jobs are competitive. How would you say someone like me, fresh out of college, would navigate that, because it's a new territory? How would you direct us?
The basic thing is, like, I'm sure your parents, your school would have given you a very strong value system. Right? Now, if you believe in that and yourself and stick to that, you will find, walls coming up in your career. Because there will be people who will want you to go this way and the other way and the other way. But you want to stick to your principles. So that is what causes stress in corporate world. That's the problem they face. I faced that in corporate. But if you stick to your guns and you're known for your value system, then, it takes time. But right from start, if you stick to it, then you get that chapa. That, okay, this one you can't buy out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how you get a name for yourself that, okay, she will not waver from what is right and what is wrong. And today that is very, very important. Very, very important. Don't look at the end result of how much you will earn or where you'll reach in corporate on the corporate ladder.
Okay.
That will come if you work the way you should work. If you know your beans and you're walking the path, you have your value system in place. I don't know, but I did that, and I don't think I did too badly, considering I was the first lady in the army, Indian Army. Then, of course, I went through a divorce and all that. But I retired from the Taj as the first salesperson to retire as a director of sales for then Andhra Pradesh. Now it is 2 states, but then it was Andhra Pradesh. And I don't think I did too badly.
Of course.
Because I had the best of both worlds.
Right.
While I lived in it.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And lead by example.
You mentioned schooling. Here we run an educational center. So what role does education play, and what role do you think it should play at the early stages of development so that kids are on the right track? This could be advice for parents, for kids itself, anything.
See, for parents, as I see it, we are the biggest problem for our children. Honestly. Because it's our aspirations that we put on our children. I couldn't become a doctor, I want you to become a doctor. And that fellow or little girl will faint when she sees blood. Now, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Right? The moment they come in, you can see, if you just observe a child, you'll know what their strengths are. If they're a people's person, or if they're the creative, quiet sort who'll sit and, scribble and draw and things like that, or write, or read. You may find somebody sitting in the corner and reading.
Yeah.
So there are different types of people, but let them shine in their own. Whatever their strengths are, build on that.
Correct.
But no, we parents don't allow that. When the father doesn't become an engineer, wants the son to become an engineer. It doesn't work like that. See, basically, the essence I'm trying to say is, choose what you enjoy doing as a career. You will never have any blocks on the road, and you will enjoy yourself. The moment you enjoy yourself, you're free, you're happy.
Yeah.
Growth is fast.
Yeah.
That is my message.
That's very inspiring.
But seriously, I will still say that we parents are the ones who ruin our children with our aspirations for them. That's basically.
And for the kids, what would you tell the kids?
But if a child believes in himself and he wants to be, say, an artist or a musician, then he should hone his skills on that. Because that will show up. The parents also should identify that. You observe it, it will happen. But children should also know, okay, if I like to be play the guitar, you have to practice for so many hours. They're willing to do that.
Okay.
So then you channelize them that way. Because it's not, everything is not coming first in class and getting 100 in math. I was not like that, okay? I was a second division student, but I was in theatre, I was on stage singing, I was in the basketball team for middle school, senior school, college. And I'm sure you'll ask me, how did you shoot with the height like yours? I had the spring. Then I used to hop, skip and jump and shoot. So, so it's about your belief of yourself.
Okay.
And how you take it forward. Because I know that that's what I've done. My sisters are all Trinity School, college piano they've learned from school because the nuns, Irish nuns taught. But when I came up, my father said, no, she's not going to learn. He gave me a Hofner guitar and said, play by ear. Because he had realized that in class 4, I won the youth festival. So that means there's something different from my siblings. So he rooted it that way. I enjoyed myself.
Welcome back. We're going to continue our conversation with Ms Lata. So I love that you brought your pet fish. Would you like to introduce him to us today?
See, Kritika, this is a betta fish, which I just bought a few days back, 2 days to be precise. It's my birthday gift to me. Okay, and I've named him Jazz.
Okay.
And this is a carrier to take him around because I haven't still reached home to set up his tank and put him in.
Okay.
And they live alone because they are Siamese fighters. So I can't have another betta fish in the same tank. They attack their fins. And the beauty of this fish is the fin. Because they spread it out, it's like a frill.
It's very beautiful, actually.
Yes.
I want to know more about your pet adventures. It seems like you have a lot.
Yeah.
You've had pets before.
Yes, I grew up with pets at home because my dad was one of those who encouraged.
Right.
So you could bring in whatever. And we had dogs, I had a monkey and a baby cub bear and all because we lived in the northeast.
Okay.
When the mother abandons, then you find it, or villagers find it, they bring it home. Knowing my father liked it, so that way, barking deer, you name it. So what happened once, because I was a fidgety kid, I never sat in one place, my mother sent me with my dad angling, fishing, so that I had to sit quiet with my fishing rod. So I went along and sat. So I had the little urchin boys with me because I was a kid myself. I was some 7 or something. And I felt a tug on my rod and they noticed it. So they immediately made me pull up my rod. And then when I pulled it out, it was a little tortoise. So they took it off the hook and cleaned it up. And I told my dad, I got a tortoise on my...
This is your first time fishing. Wow.
Normally you catch fish.
Lord.
I got a tortoise. So he said, take it home. So we cleaned it up and everything and we took it home. We reached home and I showed them what I had caught. Everybody thought it'd be fish. And there were shrieks. My mother and my siblings all were screaming because when the tortoise neck comes out, it's like a snake.
Oh,
It's very snake-like. Oh, take it away. So I named him Jonathan, and then I used to color his shell with wax crayons.
Okay.
So when it's in water, it looked very nice.
Your creative streak has been there from day one. I admire that so much.
Yeah. So like that, Jonathan used to go in a crocheted bag.
Oh, you crocheted a bag for him?
So see, when during holidays when we come home, then they'll take us out to this auntie's house, that uncle's house, whatever. So Jonathan would be in my bag, which was crocheted, and and those who didn't like his looks because of his neck, I used to put him back. But it was really nice. Sometimes you see you can't get attached to too many things. You've got to let go and let go with the flow, so to say. While it was with me, I enjoyed it.
That's nice.
Now it's not with me, it's fine. It's okay. We, as kids, we had many dogs, Alsatians and things, trained and used to play hide and seek with us and all. Then when I got married, I had 4 Dachshunds.
Oh.
So if you came into the army colony and you didn't know where our house was, if you asked the sentry, the lady with 4 Dachshunds said, oh, that they'll direct you, because I was the only one with 4 Dachshunds and things like that. The last pet we had, which my sons, both of them, 2 brothers, bought 2 brothers from the same litter. They were golden retrievers. Beautiful.
Adorable.
Beautiful specimens. They were from the Australian strain, big fellows, good looking fellows, and they knew it. And they knew it. They'd walk strutting around because all the children say, rugby, rugby, and say, spark, spark, and they would go, spinning themselves around. Very nice. It's good, it keeps you happy.
Yes.
No stress.
Everyone should have a pet.
Yes.
At least.
Yeah.
Growing up with a pet, what do you think has...
Because it makes you more considerate.
Right.
Any living thing, be it plants or be it pets, it brings out the quality of nurturing.
Yeah.
You're considerate, you make sure it has food, water, whatever. Like today we keep water for the birds outside.
Yeah.
It's summer, so hot.
Exactly, yeah.
So things like that. So life goes on because you have to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we had our conversation with Ms Lata, and I hope you found it inspiring. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.